Hey guys, Eddie Dillon here. Thought I'd do a real quick video. Someone asked me a question the other day and I found it quite interesting. It was along the lines of, Eddie, should I be trying to actually accumulate more debt in my portfolio rather than paying my properties off right now? One, yes, you should always be trying to buy more properties, I believe. No matter how many properties you buy, you always look back and you always wish that you bought more, like myself. Even though I've gone property crazy and I've bought almost 50 properties myself, but I still wish that I bought more when I had the chance and when I didn't. So in terms of should you be trying to accumulate more debt, well, it's not really the debt you're after, like it is in a way, but it's mainly the properties and the asset position. Realistically, I speak to people every single day and they always say, I want to buy a property, I want to pay it off. I want to have 5 properties owned outright. When you start buying a lot of properties and you learn more about wealth creation and tax saving strategies that the ultra wealthy do, realistically, it depends on your age, it depends on your position. But as an example, I'm 30 years old roughly. I'm still relatively young in the grand scheme of things compared to some other investors out there. I found for myself personally, I'm the type of person that I've always got to be doing something. I thought that once I would be able to retire, and I can retire now, but I thought that I would just, not ever work again. But after going on holidays and things like that, I realized that, after a few weeks or a month, you get bored, you want to do something. You need to feel like you're constantly progressing in life. Otherwise you just feel like shit, to be frank. So it depends on your age, but as an example for myself, being 30 years old, it would be crazy for me to sell half my portfolio and then pay the other half outright. As an example now, I'm on my way to about probably 25 million worth of property, between 22 to probably 25 million right now in total assets. Now, debt would be like 50% LVR, give or take, or like 40% LVR. It's very low in the grand scheme of things, because the market's gone so crazy and I bought properties obviously well below market value. But I could sell obviously like half my portfolio, or and then pay out tax, pay out and sell and pay out the rest of the properties. So I'd have, out of 45 almost 50 properties, I'd probably have like 18 or 15 or between 15 and 20 just owned outright, as an example right now. But it'd be crazy to do that because all the debt that you have on investment property is tax deductible. So the interest rates, as well as the other things like council rates, water rates, management fees, insurance. But when you buy a place to live in, it's not tax deductible. And for me, as an example, being 30, it's far too early to do that. And like the wealthiest people in the world, the wealthiest companies in the world, they would rather use debt to their advantage. They'd rather use leverage, and they would use that to create more money. So as an example, if the bank, as an example, would give me right now $1 billion, I would take every single cent of it. I'd buy $1 billion worth of real estate, and one day I probably will have that amount. But that's realistically how the wealthiest people keep wealth and maintain it, is by trying to leverage their capital, buying further assets where you get a positive cash flow return on it. And you can get tax deductions along the way, but buying something with the 3 keys, of course, buying under market value with growth and yield. I guess, should you be trying to pay your properties off if you're 30 years old like me? If it was me, no, I wouldn't be. Even if you're 40 years old, no. I'd be like it really depends on what your long-term goals are and what you want to achieve with it. But I think it'd be crazy to focus on paying down debt. And that's what most investors focus on. When I first bought my first, 2, 3, 4 properties, I was always focused on cash flow, which not so much anymore. I am, but not as much as I was in the beginning. It's more about the equity and the growth in the property and buying it under market value right away, which is the most important thing. The cash flow is it's equally important, but whether you buy property that's slightly positive or slightly negative at the end of the day, in the short term doesn't matter, because with inflation, it's going to turn positive in a couple of years anyway. But I thought I'd do this real quick video. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any other questions, send them through and I'll chat to you next time. Bye.